of global Africans changing the world that we live in. Every Sunday on High Radio.
Hey, yo, guys. Turn my headphones a little bit louder. Yeah. Get to you. Yeah. Give thanks every single day. Get to you. Yeah. Give thanks every single day. Day after day, as I wake up, I pray. I will give God the praise. Yeah, just come lead the way. Day after day, as I wake up, I pray. I will give God the praise. Yeah, just come lead the way. Get to you. Yeah. Give thanks every single day. Get to you. Yeah. Give thanks every single day. You think say it be nothing, no, but this thing it be something, no. Papa God give me everything, no. You know say give me everything, no. In my trust 24/7. Trust no man, man I want go heaven. So still every day, God there we go make come. No matter how we day, trust still we go make come. Yeah, as I wake up every morning, I give thanks say I day alive. Yeah, you don't wake me every morning where you dey make I dey feel alright. Yeah, day after day, as I wake up I pray. I will give God the praise. Yeah, just come lead the way. Day after day, as I wake up I pray. I will give God the praise. Yeah, just come lead the way. Get to you. Yeah, give thanks every single day. Give thanks every single day. I'ma give thanks every single day. Get to you. Give thanks every single day. You think say it be nothing, no, but this thing it be something, no. Papa God give me everything, no. You know say you give me everything, no. In my trust 24/7. Trust no man, I want go heaven. So I feel every day, God there we go make come. No matter how we day, trust still we go make come. Day after day, as I wake up I pray. I go give God the praise. Yeah, just come lead the way. Day after day, as I wake up I pray. I will give God the praise. Yeah, just come lead the way. Get to you. Yeah, give thanks every single day. Get to you. Yeah, give thanks every single day.
The most wanted producer.
Well, if you ask me, that is the anthem, for this year. Actually, if you ask me, and that is a record by Flexclusive, the Amsterdam-based Ghanaian Flexclusive, with this record called "Give Thanks." And Flexclusive is doing a wonderful job with this music. You should definitely check him out. If you haven't been able to listen to it, then you should really, really stream it, because he is doing some good, good, good stuff. Welcome to Africa on Focus on this delightful Sunday. Here, coming to you live from the city of Amsterdam on the 14th of March. We are already in all the way through the first quarter of 2021. Oh my gosh, time flies. I'm your host, Miss.ABA, and I'll be taking you through Africa on Focus alongside Donny, the one and only, through the show of today. It's just 5 minutes past 7, and I would like to welcome everybody both on the social medias and on the normal radio line through www.hiradionl.com. And of course, if you happen to stumble upon this show on YouTube and Facebook, do give me a shout out. Do say hi and shout out to Jimoni Mubarak, who is tuning in. Do say hi so that we can, interact with you and let us know where you are listening from. This is High Radio, and High Radio is Amsterdam's most dynamic satellite and digital radio station that promotes African culture to Africans in the diasporas. We are plenty. We are worldwide, and yes, we want to be known. That's why we're here. Tuning in with us on social media. Don't forget to share. Press the share button. It's absolutely free. And so that we can get it going. Today, we have some interesting topics that we are going to talk about. We will discuss the Dutch resisting to apologize for slavery, Uganda's entertainment industry, and a $12 million boost from a well known person. Naomi Campbell promoting Kenya using Naija music. Oops, what about that? And a new Marcus Garvey film coming to America and more. And moreover, we'll be also closing off with some very helpful tips on how to get yourself through the pandemic. Some mental health things is really what we're going to talk about. Without further ado, let me just welcome Donny here because he is backstage so that we can get it going. Hello, Donny. How are you? I think the sound will be loading in a bit, but
No, I've muted
yeah.
myself.
Oh, you muted
Yeah, yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
All right, all right,
yeah.
all right.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just I don't know, just the kind of Sunday where I was like, I just need to stay home. I don't know. But it's, one of those
Hmm.
Sundays. So,
Hmm.
and I was like, what, let's just take the show, here, which I enjoy anyway, because I like to
Yeah,
interact with people from this place also. So, yeah.
yeah.
How was your
I
week?
mean, a week has been good. A friend of mine just let me know that, one of the struggles is going to be that, like after this pandemic, or when it eases down, and we have to all go back to our various offices and unis, that's going to be another process people have to get used to
Yeah,
going back 5 days a week,
yeah, yeah.
all of that.
I I wonder if it
And
needs logistics or it needs like it to be done in stages. I just wonder how that's going to be done.
yeah, whether companies are going to be like, okay, 2 days in a week office, or 3 days in a week, slowly back to the
Yeah,
5 days a week. I don't know. I have no idea
yeah,
how they're going to do it. I don't even know if corporations do prefer working from the office or not. And I'm actually
oh,
keen to know what the results are going to be, because I know they've been doing some researching about, you know,
yeah,
about productivity from home and from
yeah,
office. And if it shows that people are more productive working from home,
yeah,
and I know that corporations do cut costs because they don't have, like, even don't they don't have they should don't need to have an office anymore. That
yeah.
facilitates hundreds of
They can
employees,
save on that.
so they can save on that. So hey, maybe it will be the corporations who are going to push for employees to be working from home now, and of course they can be international. I mean, they can
Yeah,
work from different continents and all that.
right.
But yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
It's
Hmm.
going to be interesting. Yeah, I have heard some parents say, you know what, I don't think I'm going to go back to work. This is actually the ideal place or the ideal
Hmm.
situation for me now. So the
Hmm.
working from home is actually doing well for them.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I used to really love being outside because one thing I purposely didn't do was get my own office, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
far as my business, I always made sure that if I would have an office, I would either share an office space with somebody that a business partner, or I
Hmm.
would work at open spaces, because the networking and the interaction with people actually, added value, were of added value.
Yes.
You have a conversation with people, and they find out that, hey, you can help them with their brand communications and
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
online things, and it
Hmm.
starts with a conversation. So for me, I love that setting. But
Yeah.
recently, just working home and haven't done this setting mostly for like a whole year. I'm like, I don't really mind, too much.
Mhm.
But I guess it's easy for me to say, because I can easily switch,
Yes. Yeah.
between those different work modes, or anything
Yeah. Hmm.
of that. Yeah.
Uh,
We would really like to know, for all the listeners, how has working from home been for you? How has work even changed? If it didn't change, how has it work? Has it changed for you in the working space? Shout out to Jimoni Mubarak, who's saying, I'm listening from Italy. Shout out to you,
mhm.
listening from Italy. How is it there? How is things with COVID? Because from here we think like Italy is a danger zone. I don't know if you have that too. You know,
I mean, it was once the place you shouldn't
right?
go.
Yeah,
Yes. So
yeah.
I'm wondering, hey, what's the situation over there? Are they having a curfew, lockdown, or
I'm
and what's the
wondering.
vaccine? Vaccine process going there?
Yeah, yeah. I would really like to know. So, Jimoni, if you can give us some details on that, do let us know, so that we can also interact and find out how life is going in Italy. Welcome again to Africa Unfocused. Here is where we share our success stories. We are sure to interact with global Africans, and we talk about really what's going on in our world, to ensure that our community is empowered. Africans all around the world are empowered to into the right place and into its right extent. Just to let you know, Africa on Focus is also made possible by Austin, which is a branding strategy, communications, and business development company, helping you elevate your brand, specifically in the African and diaspora markets. They are the go to, and they ensure that everything visual, most of it visual, happening with Africa on Focus, to its podcasting platforms. All of the content strategy, they ensure that everything is in place. So if you want some more information about that, go to www.byaustin.com. And also, if you are looking for, a good web hosting place, black owned, good service on hand, that you should definitely go and visit beartist.eu, your complete website and graphic design solution. Whether you're promoting your business or showcasing your work or opening your store or starting a blog, they do everything. They set it all up, including the web hosting. It's a very good price. I don't know the price on top of mine, but it's not where you get, all kinds of extra things, like
Mhm.
what's it called? The GoDaddy. If you subscribe to one extra email, you get another charge of £5 or whatever. It is not like that. So this is a Be Artist, that will help you on your way with your web, and your website, web hosting, and all of that in between. So make sure that you check them out on www.beartist.eu. In a bit, we are going to talk about our news flash. Of course, one thing that we always touch on and that we always find interesting to talk about is what's going on in the world of Africans. So much has been going on. And by the way, Donny, I'm really interested to know if you have watched Coming to America, what you think of it, Coming to America too, and also a bit of the conversation that has been going around, whether Africa is stereotypically showcased in that
Mhm.
particular, yeah, way. Let me just say that. But first, let's get into music. Let's just start getting into some good vibes, and we'll be right back
Give me
to
from
talk
here,
some more
Charlie,
about what's going on in Africa.
yeah. We are more than one. know, baby, don't go. Baby, don't let me go.
Gazi, I am the pro. Come close, make a hold you. Me and Nico, me now. Oh, baby, I can't. Why if I take my cash away? But it's a mouth, baby. I'll give you twice a day. My magic music. Music. Magic music. Me fan chavo. My magic music. My magic music.
Me know I a big penno. Me know I a big penno. Me know I a big penno. I can see it. Me know I a big penno. Yeah. Obe. To boss you na ready. I walk up. Ore. If it's a sebiara, you talk. But now you dey show me. Asabasa you dey do me. What's up? You dey lead me. If you wahala, you dey keep me.
My magic music. Music. My magic music. Me fan chavo. My magic music. My magic music. You be for me a Charlie. Bravo, radio, today how you did. I think so you fool me. Me feel to broke like 2 weeks. Now I buy all like movies.
Hey, what up, on me, mama? And you say, me. Hey, what a kind of me, mama? Obi, that what don't need me. Cause the yentina, oh, yentina. Yentina, oh, yentina. If you say, what's this, oh, what's this, what's this, oh, what's this, Obako Sukaide. If you was so mean, rainy. I say, when he.
Yes, I do it, come on, I am the crow. Come close, make a hold you. Me and the crow, me now. Oh, baby, I can't. Why if I take my cash away? But it's a mouth, baby. I'll give you twice a day. My magic music. Music. My magic music. Me fan chavo. My magic music. Yeah. My magic music. Me for me a Charlie.
Hey, what up, on me, mama? And you say, me. Hey, what up, kind of me, mama? Obi, that what don't need me. Oh, say, what's it down? What's it down? What's it down? What's it down?
They tell us.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Africa on Focus. I'm your host, Miss Abba, and we are here. Let me just, fix my hair properly. Yes. It's on the 14th of March, and you're back to Africa on Focus, coming to you live here on High Radio. And myself, alongside Donny, we make sure that we bring everything to you, all topics that relate to everything Africa. And we are back here again. It's like just a few minutes after 7:15 CET, which is Amsterdam time. And we are really, really delighted to talk to you about a few interesting things that have been going on in our world. Wherever you are, do give us a shout out if you are listening to us from the Facebook and the YouTube platform. Do interact with us and share with us where you're listening from. Give us a high five, give us a love or anything so that we could give a shout out back on to you. A lot has been going on during this week.
Yeah.
Donny, I remember one meme was like was a calendar of like every month in pictures, and I think January, February, and March were already pictured with like the highlights of the craziness so far. And a quote was inserted and said, I'm ready for the rest of the crazy that 2021 is going to bring us. And with that
Yeah.
said, I think people are now, after 2020, people are like prepared for, okay, let's go.
Yeah. You probably feel like it can't get any worse than it had already been. So
Right, right. I know,
Yeah.
right? It's been absolutely crazy. Did you watch the Coming to America movie, by the way?
No,
Why not?
I didn't. I've watched everything else around it. So I've watched the interview with the
The trailers.
I've watched the trailers. I've watched comments like reviews without the spoilers in it.
Yeah,
But I don't mind spoilers anyway. And I've watched that interview with Arsenio Hall,
Arsenio Hall. Yeah,
which
yeah,
was
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, and I think I've watched the interview with Eddie Murphy as well. So
yeah,
like I've heard a lot about it, and of course from friends who have watched it. But
yeah.
personally, I haven't watched it yet. Some
Right.
One of my friends even gave me because it's on Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of my friends gave me his logins if I
Yeah.
wanted to watch it. Though, yeah, I said no, I don't want to watch it now. I'll just wait a little bit and then watch
You're like,
it.
listen, I'm in time. I'm in time, Kakra. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you? Did you watch it?
Yes, I have. Actually, me and my friends, my lady squad, we actually reserved like a day for it. We were like, we're gonna
Oh,
really sit
sweet.
down and watch it. We eventually didn't end up because we ended up talking about other things, you know.
Oh,
So my friend gave me her login. And by the way, Gary, it's not
mm-hmm.
on next Netflix, it's on Amazon Prime, which is also like the streaming avenue of Amazon, in terms of movies and stuff. So
Yes.
she gave me the login, and I actually watched it the same night because Coming to America is just my favorite movie, and I really wanted to watch it, and which I did, but I haven't watched it twice. You know what I mean? Like I watched
You
it
watched it
during.
twice.
I didn't. I
Oh,
didn't.
you didn't. Okay.
No, and most of the
Is
times
that
I
a good
do
thing
it.
or a bad thing? I'm not sure. Oh, okay, okay.
At this point
Hmm.
it's not as good, you know what I mean. um because I was watching it during work, because obviously when you do work you can just sit comfortable, you make graphics, you make
Yeah.
people's branding, and then you can just watch
Mm-hmm.
some things. But
Mm-hmm.
I watched it thoroughly. I think the visuals was amazing, the outfits and stuff. I also really love to see some of actors or actresses from the continent that I really love, like one of the eventual leading characters, Nomzamo Mbata, who's from South Africa, and this is like
Mm-hmm.
her first. I think it's her first movie, like in terms of Hollywood, in South
Mm-hmm.
Africa, and she's doing really good. So I kind of
Mm-hmm.
love seeing her journey, kind of you know just
Mm-hmm.
going bigger and bigger, because for her it's just the ultimate. But in terms of storyline, it wasn't as strong,
You're right.
and
I've heard that.
also, yeah, and also in the movies, like too many people, too many well-known people came in. It was like, I'm sure they had a party on set. You know what I mean? Wesley Snipes. At some point, Salt and Pepper was in on Vogue. You know what I mean? Like everybody was in it, and
Wow.
it was quite a lot. If you get what I mean, it was. I wouldn't say it's bad. Some
Yeah.
debate
Yeah.
some debates have been going around, like, yeah, it didn't depict Africa as it was, because the one of the leading characters had to like face a lion. That's not what we do. And then people were like,
Mm-hmm.
listen, just take a break. Zamunda is a fictional, you know,
Yeah.
location. Just be
Anyway.
easy. You
Right.
get what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, in terms of Africanness. I thought with part one, at some point,
Africanness.
I discovered at the age of 10 that Zamunda wasn't a real place. You know what I mean? I thought it was somewhere nearby Cameroon. Seriously, like the way Zamunda sounds
Yeah.
some country around DRC. Come on. You know what
Could
I
have
mean?
been real. I mean, if
Right?
we have Zambia and Gambia, why not Zamunda?
Zamunda, exactly. Exactly. And even
So
from the outfits, like the what the father was wearing in part one, with the
yeah,
lion and things. Actually, that's, I think it's either Togolese wear it. It's
yeah,
actual African wear. So I wasn't
it
mad.
is.
I wasn't
Yeah.
mad at it, but it was interesting. it was really
Okay,
interesting.
so if you would rate it, like give it a number, a score.
Yeah, I think I would
That
give it.
face.
I think I
Give
would
it a
give it.
score.
I think I would give it a 7,
A
and
7. Okay.
yeah, and that is mostly because I don't like to like um be down such a movie that has such investment and visuals look
Are you feeling?
nice, and you get what I
Is
mean?
it
It's like,
is it a 7 out of mercy or out of for it's like you get an A for effort? Is it a 7
yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
effort
yeah.
or
Yeah,
hmm,
yeah. I think, yeah, but in terms of storyline, they could have done better. So if you hear that
yeah,
before you watch it, then yeah, yeah, I would say I would agree with that. That in terms of storyline, but they did well.
yeah.
They actually included real African people,
Okay, okay.
let's just say people directly from the soil. Let me just say it that way, because
Yeah,
being black means, to me, being black, you're African anyway. So I said
yeah.
that wrong. But they did well, adding Rotimi, Nomzamo, and some of the actors that really come directly from the soil to be involved. It's
Mm-hmm.
cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's
okay,
definitely
okay,
cool.
okay.
It's
Well,
definitely
that's
cool.
yeah, that is very very much interesting. Um, how about this angle that, of course, because it took them over 20 years to actually, do the second part because
Yeah,
they felt like they shouldn't touch it even. Um,
yeah,
I mean, 30 years even. So the first one was a classic, fine. But the first one is for that generation, a classic.
yeah,
But this one is, I haven't seen it, but I know that it happened with Barbershop. The first Barbershop was woo. And then Barbershop Part 2 came in, and then you saw Nicki Minaj, and you this and that. Or, or was that Part 3? But yeah, no, it was Barbershop 2. Then you saw Nicki Minaj, you saw like a lot of celebrities in that movie.
everyone,
And
right,
then
right.
and then people like being down on that movie and this and that. I'm like, yeah, but back in those days, like that part one with Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, all of like back then they were the celebrities of that time. That was our generation, our people. We wanted to see them in that movie. So now you
Yeah,
have another generation who have all these other celebrities who are also in the movie. They wanted to see them in that movie. So I feel like if we would have been 20 years younger or 30 years younger and would have seen um, this new movie, then it would be like the first one to us. So we would appreciate it as much. And I don't know. I can't say because I'm not today's generation,
right.
but I am interested to see what kids of 11, 12, 13,
Think
14,
it.
15 think of it. Do they also watch that movie and go, "Is Zamunda real? Isn't that real? Is it
Yeah,
like the same sentiments we had as little kids who watching that movie? I wonder if they feel the same watching this movie. That's what I want
right.
to know. Because if that's the case, then they definitely succeeded, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, because the older generation, we are saying, yeah, no, it's so much, yeah, no, the first one is so much better than this one. But yeah, if you have another generation who hasn't seen the first one, and
Yeah,
this for them is like out of the world, then I genuinely think that they done a great
a
job.
good job.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I think it had less of epic moments. The previous one has has scenes that you could just wake up anybody at night and be like, okay, imitate a scene from Coming to America.
yeah,
And either do my name is Peaches and I'm the best, you know what I mean? Or they will do something. And this one had less of that.
yeah,
It
so
was
much.
less humorous moments that really had you laughing, like, whoa, to me, and I also hear
Yeah,
that from people that
from
really
last
live.
week.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
I
but
we'll see.
yeah,
I guess I guess we'll see
yeah.
how that.
The first one was stupidly funny, like, but
Yeah,
comedy back then was, it's a different climate.
it
So,
was a different.
you,
Here they're careful, you know what I mean. This time, but back in the day, it
they
was
tried.
rough.
Like,
It was,
even you have to be careful with doing the African accent, otherwise you might hand
yeah,
that you might be insulting or
yeah,
all of that. So you don't want that kind of how do you say it, press about your movie. So
about your movie. Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
different times, man.
In different times. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, in the meantime, shout out to Kendi Sylvia who's saying, "Hey, hey, back at you." Thank you for
Hey,
tuning in
Candy.
on Africa Unfocused to come and have a talk with us wherever you are in the world. And you are tuning in with us on our social media channels. Make sure that you do say hi. Let us know where you're listening from so that we can interact with you. Man, newsflash. Time for the newsflash.
Well,
what's
that
been
was
going
part of the
on?
news, man.
the the
Another
black
big thing that happened
wow.
this whole week was, and I'm sure did you have the interview Prince Harry
Oh
and Meghan
man. You know what?
Markle on Oprah?
I you know what? I didn't. I've saved it for watch later. But I did
Hmm.
catch some of the highlights and yeah, I did, about people be concerned about the baby being too black and whatever and all of that.
Did you see the memes?
Yes, I did. I did, especially the one with Michael Blackson, with what the world sees versus
Mm,
what the royal family sees.
I haven't seen that one. Oh, dude.
Oh yeah, that one is funny. Absolutely, absolutely. Did you watch it?
No,
Okay, but I'm sure you heard about it.
yeah.
I'm
And I
sure.
read about it to the extent that this TV, how do you say it? Yeah, journalist, TV presenter, Piers Morgan,
Yeah,
who used to run this morning show, Good Morning
yeah,
Britain, and like he's fully British, but he's worked on CNN before, in the States, and also due to an argument, he left and then came
yeah.
back to Britain, and then
He left the set
also
of his own
being on
show.
the pretty much. And so after the interview, he wasn't so pleased with how the interview was conducted and how our Meghan Markle was talking about the royal family.
Yeah,
So he had some one and twos to say, and he got checked by his co-host or one of the guests on the show, and he stormed out. He left the show. Good morning, Brittany. He left the show. But luckily for him, Britain was in support of what he said, and yeah, so they signed a petition. I mean, 200,000 people signed a petition to get him back on the show, and he respectfully declined. So that shows like the impact of the interview in itself has on on media,
on
because
the
one of the
Great
major
Britain.
on the Great Britain, because one of the main issue, or yeah, from this whole interview or what was said by Meghan and Harry is the role of media in the whole situation, in the entire situation, her being with the family, in their marriage, in their parents, in their everything. Was like the media stood was at the core of it, right? So again, the interview happened, and then the media also gets shifted. Like you see how certain things change, how certain news channels also respond to it. But there's a lot going on. I reckon people should watch that interview, um, but also know that there are always two sides to press coverage, right?
Right.
We've always received the side of from the media themselves and the press, but from Meghan and Harry during the interview with Oprah was their chance or their way of also expressing or
Right.
telling their side of everything that had happened before the marriage and all of that because they've been quiet for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember Miss Megan was saying that they were supposed to do Oprah had asked to do the interview, and this was before their marriage, but they couldn't because she wouldn't have been able to do it alone. You have to do there's this whole royal family policy that you have to go through
Sure.
before
Yeah.
you can even speak a word towards the press. So she couldn't at that time, and I think it was last year or the year before they stepped down from. I think there's this ranks in royalty, and they stepped down, and
Yeah.
where it gave them freedom, much more freedom to do what they wanted to do, and
Yeah.
that allowed them to be doing this interview uh, with Oprah without the approval of the royal house, the
Mm-hmm.
Duke and Duchess of Sussex. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Interesting one.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to watch it this month. I always watch things after the hype is
After the hype. Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Yeah.
After the hype, that's when I go back and
Yeah.
watch many things.
Mm-hmm.
Because during the hype, you just get to have all of the comments, all of people, their perspective and stuff. You can't really focus
Yeah.
on what's being said. And always, I remember that always after the hype, is where the full story actually comes out. So
Right.
before the hype or during the hype, it's always one side, and then there's nothing to it. It's just people chiming in. And then after that, more things come out. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll see.
Um. Yeah. A lot has been going on. One might ask, what does it has to do with us? So
Mm,
one thing that I would say about being of a royal family, I think like globally, the British royal family, they've been quite on a, what's it called, like they're celebrities, in some shape or form. And I
mhm,
mean, growing up, obviously on the television, following the story of Princess Diana, and
yeah,
many of our African moms are our fan of her. They love Princess Diana, and obviously the British have this way of, just being push, and I don't know. I remember Princess Diana just having a particular sophistication that, a
mhm,
lot of Ghanaian aunties and mothers would just love to look at and things like that.
yeah,
So
mhm,
I think, her having quite of an image which is more free, more relatable, makes her story to be connected to, obviously, what, because what are they now? They're Duchess. Let me just say it right. They're the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Yeah, that's really
yeah,
what they are. So it's not like Prince and Princess. There's a whole the hierarchy of it. It has a story, it has its reason. You can't just call this one a prince and such and such.
yeah,
I have to get into it so that I can, refer to it in the right way. But
mhm,
there are a lot of connections, between the story. The Princess Diana obviously being, Harry's mother, that is one, and choosing to go for a life that is more free, or more
yes,
um, as in terms of a normal life. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And that
mhm,
is really now what is being highlighted. And of course, the press loves this from each angle and things and everything. So from my observation, I felt that from the time that we've heard that, they are, I don't know if they were disowning their their positions. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but from the time I heard that, I was like, oh, she's really having an influence on him. And he even said, I think in the interview, like, if it wasn't for Megan, I don't think I would have stepped out. I would have been
Mm,
able to step out like this. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, she's gonna be seen, regarded as the
that's,
bad woman, that has influenced him to, go through his
yeah,
normal life and things like that. So the press is, I could already see, like, this is gonna be like, the press is just gonna wage war on this woman. I don't know if she's gonna be able
yeah.
to handle it. I even said in my head, like, girl, if you're not careful, they're going to kill you, like, you know what I
They
mean?
did.
Because
Yeah. I mean, there was a point in the interview that Harry did say that hey, they were afraid that things may go like it went with his mother. They were
yeah,
very, yeah, yeah. But please continue.
exactly. Because supposedly she had an accident, but it was the press, who was causing that accident, and who knows whatever is behind that. You get what I mean? So I kind of feel like kind of feel like she's endangered in some way. And of course, the press picks it up, and just imagine, like, the royal family. Even I think they even have they have magazines devoted to their life stories. They have
Mm,
television shows devoted to their life stories, and even on a global
mm.
level, the Great Britain, you know what I mean, receiving so much press and everything. So I feel that, yeah, this sooner or later would have come. I really expected this
Yeah.
to come. I really did. And the fact that it's Oprah, come on, it's no surprise. You get what I mean? And even the bit
Yeah.
where even the bit of what I saw when she said, oh, they were what's it called? Afraid of what color it might be. I was like, listen, these are sophisticated racists. Come on, these are the empire builders of colonialism. Of the colonialism that we Africans know. And I wasn't surprised. I was like, come on.
Hey.
There is a reason why they don't
Hey.
marry non-white. It's not a coincidence. If they were really as liberal as free, we would see an Indian or Indonesian or something popping up every now and then, maybe one generation in time, but we don't.
Every now and then. Well,
Every now and
here's the
then.
first. Here's the first generation.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's interesting. What is the moral of the story here? Um, I would say that, yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I would ask, is it do monarchies still exist, or do they still have that much power, or not? Should they stay? Should Great Britain become a republic? Should the Netherlands become a republic? Because we also have a king.
Yeah,
Um, I think that's a question of of this age.
of the thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey,
That's a good. I think that royalty of it. It looks good. You know what I mean? It adds a bit of culture, I would say, if you ask me.
yes,
Um, so
it definitely
in the name
does.
of culture, I would be like, let it be there. For me, I
Yeah.
do not have a problem with the royal family being there. Even here in the Netherlands, people complain about the money that they or the income that they receive on an annual basis. I don't have a problem with that. I'm like, yes, they're royalty. Come on, they're rich folks, born rich. Welcome to how this world works. You get what I mean? So I really don't have a problem with us having I don't. I really don't. Just the same that
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with, in Ghana where we have chieftaincy and those things. We could complain and be like, yeah, chief shouldn't be there, blah, blah, blah. What is their contribution? But if you look at how the people are culturally wired, they're really necessary, you know.
Yeah.
But here it would be a different story because people don't really I don't consider the Netherlands as cultured in a sense that they add so much value to their king and queen. I don't know. What do you think? You do.
Until you try to take away their king from them, trust me, they will come
You
after
think
you.
so?
Yeah, yeah. It's
All
like
right.
intentionally get into an argument or a conversation about Netherlands without their king, and you will know that you will know how much they love their king. Mind you, they're the first person to talk about. We find it senseless that they receiving this much money and it's from our
Yeah.
taxpayers, but then you present the solution that all right, let's just do away with the entire royal family. They're like, no, 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 no. I tried that once. And I I tried it once and the pushback was so great. I was like, oh, okay, I understand what's going on here. You guys are the only one allowed to talk bad or to
Right.
complain about your king, and you like to do that, but you also like to keep it. When I start
Right.
complaining about the king, and I'm like, yeah, I don't see no value in it, and I'm still paying taxes. They're like, yeah, but Donny, you're different. I'm like, I understand. Never mind.
Oh,
It's
dang.
it's your king, so they're like, okay, well, yeah. So I never. That's when I realized, okay, people with their king, just leave it up to them,
Just leave
and
them.
ask
Leave
them.
them and their king.
Yep, yep. It's their
That
king.
is
Yeah,
interesting. Maybe I should try that.
just yeah.
I will try that. I will try that. On to another interesting topic that has been really, really going on. That is the vaccine. I wouldn't imagine that, we have reached this point of vaccines. We have really reached this place. I mean, I see all in Ghana, the people I follow, from the president who I follow to the president wife to presenters and all of them that I follow, they have really taken the vaccine. And in
Well, great.
UK, they have gone to the people I know in UK, they have gone as far as almost vaccinating onto
Many
millions,
people.
I would say. And
20
then
million. They passed the
20,
20 million.
20 million, wow. And here we're slow. I mean, I haven't heard of any vaccine or anything. Have you taken a vaccine?
Have I? No, but I know people who have,
Yeah,
like in the health sector, yeah, the most of them have even taken their second one already.
right.
So yeah,
Right. So, what are the updates on that in terms of, the Dutch? Where are we? Because we're quite behind, and
well,
a lot
yeah,
of discussions on which brand, which type, which, you know what I mean? Like, I
yeah.
am so
So
confused.
just a quick update on the vaccine um here in the Netherlands. So I think end of January, they rolled out the vaccines. Three manufacturers or three laboratories vaccine, the BioNTech, AstraZeneca, and the Pfizer. The Pfizer being the most popular one. Oh, and
Yeah.
no, Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna. Those were the 95% effective vaccine that they rolled
Right.
out.
Right.
But now more and more vaccines have gone through their phases of testing and also have been accepted by health authorities. So you have more in the flow now. There's one from China. There's also the AstraZeneca, which is there. I think
Right.
there's one from Russia also have one they're selling. So there are more and more vaccines in the loop, which is good
Yeah.
because more people can be vaccinated. There's high demand still, and the supply is slowly coming up. But then there was a case. Something happened in Sweden,
Okay.
if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
What happened in Sweden was this, and I will get it for you. Oh, in Denmark it was.
Okay, Mark.
So
Right.
in Denmark, 2 weeks ago, and they've been using this vaccine called the AstraZeneca vaccine. That's the
Right.
same vaccine Ghana received last week, Wednesday, the first batch, 600,000 of them. That's that same
Mm-hmm.
vaccine. This same vaccine is being used in the UK as well, and also in the Netherlands, on the health sector. So
Okay.
it's a popular vaccine. It's
Right.
slightly cheaper. The effective percentage is also lower. However, it's still effective. So
Okay.
that's the AstraZeneca vaccine. In
Right.
Denmark, last week Thursday, they stopped using the vaccine. Um, 2 weeks ago, they stopped using the vaccine because after investigation, they had discovered blood clots in different people who have used the vaccine or who the vaccine got injected into them. And
Wow.
also one person died.
That is
So they
crazy.
started, yeah, so they started an investigation to see if there is any link between the vaccine and this phenomenon. So the blood clots and also the death of this one person. This the authority that was doing the investigation was the EU Medicines Agency, and the Netherlands here. They were thinking of actually stopping, stop using the vaccine until further notice, or actually pulling all the stocks back and everything.
Wow.
However, they managed to do the investigation very quickly, and they couldn't find a link between the vaccine and the blood clots found and also the death.
They
So
couldn't.
they couldn't. So there is no link between the batch of AstraZeneca vaccines from Austria, with the cases in Denmark, and also the victim. So there's no link there, which means that the vaccine is safe to use. So it was like this moment of, people were in shock, like, hey, is
Of
this
course.
vaccine uh, very bad? Is it evil? Is it this and that? But there is no evidence of that. So it remains still good, safe, and effective. So yeah, that was kind of like a very bumpy
Yeah.
road for that vaccine, because the last thing you want to hear is that people have been getting like blood clots, or one person has died because of
Exactly.
the vaccine. Yeah, but
So this is the
here in the Netherlands,
Oxford kind, AstraZeneca slash Oxford type. This is what I'm discovering. Like, the doses, or at least the doses that have been sent to Ghana, is the
mhm.
AstraZeneca slash Oxford. Now I don't know if that's different from the AstraZeneca, just that. I am
No,
just curious.
so I think AstraZeneca is the lab that is
Right.
from, but then you have, it's like, I think it's like you have a manufacturer and then you have different sellers. Because
Okay.
Ghana received theirs not directly from the laboratory, but through a different agency that ensured or that has a goal that developing countries are not left behind,
Yeah.
so that the developed country also receive vaccines. So the vaccine then is attached to their corporation,
Right.
right? And presented as a vaccine. However,
Yeah.
it's not that institution that is making the vaccine. The
Hmm.
vaccine is still comes from AstraZeneca, from that bio lab, and then you
I
can have
see.
other, institutions. So I think Oxford is also is that institution in the, I don't know, in the UK, or even in,
Right.
in Ghana, that ensures that AstraZeneca gives them vaccine so they can also distribute it to their customers.
Yeah.
Same thing with Pfizer and stuff. Yeah.
I see. With that said, are you getting a vaccine, Donny?
So that's slow by slow. I will still
Yeah,
wait the longest as I yeah,
yeah.
the longer the better, because again, these
Things
this
like
is
these.
not the last well, yeah, will pop up, right? And it will force them to do more research. Like,
Yeah,
hey, is this a possible um, um, occurrence or consequence of our vaccines or not? Like all of that is still necessary, and
yeah,
because through that they will do the vaccine will get better, right?
yeah. Exactly.
So then a higher quality vaccine for the
Yeah,
last ones. However, you still have to be around to get those vaccines. So, but yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna be around. I'll make sure make sure to stay alive. But eventually, I will get it. Like eventually,
yeah,
I think I'll get it. Otherwise,
yeah.
because how things are looking, you might not even be able to travel even to Barcelona without this whole PCR test and stuff. And if a PCR test in and out is going to cost you 300 or 400
300,
euros,
yeah.
th-
You're gonna want to
then
avoid it.
yeah, just take the vaccine and then you're free. And not only that, you're probably going to have it if you want to go to concerts, or there's this whole vaccine passport that they're working on. Um,
Right,
yeah, but
right. Well, I did, what was it? I did stumble upon a particular interview of on Instagram Live. For some
hmm
reason, this rapper and um, presenter, vlogger, Defano Holbein managed to get the Minister of Health on his Instagram
yeah,
Live, and I caught a bit of their conversation, and he did say that if we look at the legislation of to date, you can't make it mandatory for people to have to take the vaccine before they can do anything. I haven't really looked into that, but because it still remains people's fear, as in terms of, oh, you're now going to like twist the arm with it. But he
right.
said to make it mandatory is not as of yet, or at
No,
least that's what they're saying. So I'm keeping an
yeah,
eye
we
on
can't do.
how that will develop.
We
You know?
we reported on that. Remember one in I think week 3 of our Newsflash, Rutte, because last year I like Rutte because he said that they're not going he would do everything to ensure that it doesn't become um a mandate. So it's
Yeah,
not they will not um have to force people to do it by law. But
yeah,
then this year or in January reported that he will leave it up to institutions and corporations to decide for themselves how
okay,
they want to do it. So it's not, oh, actually, last year he said he's going to protect the people from corporations for doing such things. And then this year, he backed off from that, and
right,
he's like, from the government, it's not
yeah,
going to be mandatory. However, if, for example, you're working for the ING bank and ING says all our employees need the vaccine, then
yeah,
voila, all the
right,
employees are going to get the vaccine. That's
yeah,
what's going to happen. If KLM decides all our passengers are going to, you need a vaccine in order to travel, it's not
yeah,
the government saying it, it's KLM saying it, and if you don't want to fly with KLM, you're gonna probably fly with
yeah,
Turkish Airlines. But if Turkish Airlines is saying the same things, then your options become small and small and small and small,
yeah.
and that is what the future is gonna look like. You have high schools or primary schools saying that they don't want their kids, or they won't um, they only want kids who are being vaccinated to be around other kids who
Yeah,
have been vaccinated. So
yeah.
the threat becomes that if your kid is not vaccinated, he might not even be able to find a school. Again, the
Oh,
Dutch government is going to say it's not us saying that
To decide, hey, it's the school.
right, it's the school who has
Yeah,
made that decision. So the Dutch government is not going to protect the regular or the average citizen anymore. They're just going
yeah,
to leave it out there.
yeah.
And yeah,
Well,
I
let's
think
wait
that's
and
what's going to happen.
let's wait and see how things are going to go on. To everybody who is
Yeah,
listening, wherever you are in the world, would you take the vaccine? I would really like to know from you. And how is it? At which stage is it? Wherever you are located, I know that in some countries they're already far out. Like in Israel, they have. I think everybody is vaccinated.
yeah,
AUE is already quite far ahead,
you did.
with their vaccination and things like that. People are given their experiences, some of the side effects. I think you can now find it. So we've really gotten into the place where a lot of people feared, and where even people that maybe initially said, I'm not going to take it, are taking it, and they say, well, you know what?
Okay.
I have asthma anyway, so let me just do this, because because life is short anyway. You get what I mean? So
Yeah,
I really would like to know how people are thinking, and what are people's expectations towards the vaccine. Let's go for a bit of music, and then we are going to get back to talk some more of the highlights taking place on the continent. Because we heard
yes,
that
sir.
Uganda is getting a $12 million dollar boost in its entertainment industry. And let's just say a lot has been going on, and we would really love to hear what you think about it. We'll be right back, and let's listen to some music with some of the African tunes that we have on the list. Let's go.
As we are able to make ourselves.
Tomorrow, I go change my tomorrow. Tomorrow, we go change them today. Don't you wait for tomorrow. We go change them today. Eh, eh. We know tomorrow gon' be different. And together we gonna shine, shine, shine. Oh. United we will change our story. And forever we gotta smile, smile. But for today I choose to be happy. And nothing gonna change my mind today. When I go be my portion. And nothing gonna change my mind today. Hey, hey. And my hope is in you. Cause you never let me down. Lord, you don't change my story. And my head will never frown. Oh, my hope is in you. And I'm looking onto you. For tomorrow go be better day. I no go very frown. Tomorrow, I have hope for tomorrow. Don't you wait for tomorrow. We gon' change them today. Hey, hey. You are the one who lights up my day. And without you, I'll never get this far. No matter what, even evil comes my way. You are the one who lifts my head in all. All of my friends have all gone their way, way. Want to ask me how I come this far? I tell them all my hope is here to stay. The Lord Almighty will never let me fall. Lord, my hope is in you. Cause you never let me down. Lord, you don't change my story. And my head will never frown. All my hope is in you. And I'm looking unto you. For tomorrow go be better day. I don't go they frown. Tomorrow, I go change back tomorrow. Don't you wait for tomorrow. He has done it today. Tomorrow, change my tomorrow. Don't you wait for tomorrow. He has done it today. No, my hope is in you, 'cause you never let me down. Lord, you don't change my story, and my head will never frown. All my hope is in you, and I'm looking unto you. For tomorrow be a better day, I no go dey frown. My hope is in you, 'cause you never let me down. Lord, you don't change my story, and my head will never frown. All my hope is in you, and I'm looking unto you. For tomorrow be a better day, I no go dey frown.
Until Africa comes together as a continent speaking with one voice, one continent, one people, nothing, and I repeat, nothing is gonna change.
I will take to the world. Fine woman, your body like chocolate. African woman, your body like chocolate. Fine woman, taste I will never forget. African woman, body like chocolate. Fine woman, your body like chocolate. African woman, your body like chocolate. Body sweet like a cold. She shy, so we taking it slow. You there for my mind, but you already know the way she unwind. I go lose my control. Oh, say, baby, if I make up, so we lose ourselves in love. I go do anything for your love. Fine woman, your body like chocolate. African woman, your body like chocolate. Fine woman, taste I will never forget. African woman, body like chocolate. Fine woman, your body like chocolate. African woman, your body like chocolate. The way your waist wine, following the baseline. Take it low. Take it slow. Take it easy. Now go to the nami. Yo, fair. Da. Maybe if I make up, so we lose ourselves in love. I go do anything for your love. Miss it from my man. Fine woman, your body like chocolate. African woman, your body like chocolate. Fine woman, taste I will never forget. African woman, body like chocolate. Fine woman, your body like chocolate. African woman, your body like chocolate.
You never ever watch nobody. When believe in yourself. You never watch nobody. When other rock a fire. Fire when I want nobody. When I want to get you never done. You never get it, that's how I get. When.
He lives in me. He lives in you. Somebody do, then you do, you go free do, yeah. Get up, come on now. Oh yeah. Wake up, come on now. Oh yeah. Get up, come on now. Free se coco sechi, not to hold you. Ignite your fire, back up your light, keep up the fire. Arise and shine. Cause I know it's gonna be a brighter day. And I know, so one day we could be okay at the end of the tunnel light. It's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel light. It's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel light. Whoa, whoa. It's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel light. Tunnel light. Whoa, whoa. Baba God, I did call you. I just want to hear from you. See me, I wanna be a billionaire. Baba God, I did call you. Send me so fat, me so. See me, I want to be a billionaire. Ignite your fire, spark up the light, keep up the fire, arise and shine. Cause I know it's gonna be a brighter day. And I know, so one day we could be okay at the end of the tunnel light. It's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel light. It's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel light. Tunnel light. Whoa, whoa.
Make you never ever
Get up, get up, get up, get up, come on now. Oh, yeah. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, come on now. Oh, yeah.
Such an empowering song. That was The Curl Songs with what's it called? Was it called Lightning Light Up? And before that, you listened to Kwabena Awute, also an Amsterdam-based Guinean artist, with his record called Fine Woman. And before that was a record from my latest EP, Rooted, and the record is called Tomorrow, to lift up your spirits in this wonderful time. Welcome back to Africa on Focus with Miss Abba and Donny. Lockdown mode. Okay, we'll do this lockdown mode. Actually, we started lockdown mode last year when the pandemic hit, and we thought, we're not in the studio. We have a way of doing the show, but it actually brought us to literally interact with global Africans. So like, it doesn't matter where a person is based in the world. We get to like talk with them face to face. So for this show, it has been an absolute blessing. This kind of lockdown. I do miss the buttons at the radio station, being able to mix and all of that. But really, the conversation have been going strong here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you ask me, I don't know what you think, Donnie.
No, for real, same thing, same thing. I miss the buns too, even though I'm not the one pressing the button. Sometimes I just wish like you could just press some buttons.
Right?
Is
You just
isn't
have
there
like,
isn't there a way to have like a virtual, I don't know, something virtual um
yeah.
touchpad or virtual something that
I don't
can like
know. I
incorporate
don't know. I
uh,
really have to figure it out. But I do know that now in the studio, we've made it possible to, have phone conversations like this. So
mhm,
that has been taken care of. So I know that once we go back, we can just be at the studio and have, the good conversations with our special guests. So that's super,
yeah,
super cool. This is
okay.
Africa on Focus, where we share our success stories, matters rising on the continent and around it. Do you have to pick that up, or is that like a thing that you could just? I
This is
hope,
like this is like the sec this is like the second time it happened.
I hope it's not
It's
like a full
I
glass of
just I
water or something.
no, it's my phone. It's just I I'm charging it, but the cord or the wire is close to my foot. So I
All
just
right.
lift my foot and then it falls down. But
Oh no. Oh no. Oh
see,
no.
these are the things you don't get to experience if you're working from office or from the
True.
studio.
True.
It's just
True.
home. You will
Absolutely.
always have these things.
It's a
Yeah.
whole new thing. I get it, man. But you can always pick it up. Feel free. Oh gosh. Well, one of the things that we've also done is a giveaway. We have a giveaway this week. Actually, the giveaway is up until tomorrow, but we're going to take it for another week. You have the opportunity to win yourself a children's book. And not too long ago, it was actually before the year ended, where we had two special guests on the show who are well, they've created, a children's book, but then based on African tales. The makers of Ubuntopia, and they have gifted us, myself and Donnie, with our very own copy of the book, but also for anybody that is going to win the following, and I'll just show it. We have a nice giveaway to do. You get to win yourself a book of Ubuntopia. Ubuntopia. Am I showcasing it well? And this is either you get it in a Dutch or an English translation. Ubuntopia is, just like I said, African tales, and they have got very interesting stories, such as like Anansi the spider, the golden stool of the Ashanti, the unicorn of the Blue Nile, and they have really created that into a super, super, super awesome stories for your children to read. And it's a fun way to also discover about the African history, pre-colonial African history, and that is really what a lot of a lot of us miss. We've talked to that. We've talked about that with several writers and creators and all of that. Well, how it works, if you're on Instagram, you have an opportunity to win it. And it's really simple. What you can do is um, it's giveaway time. How to win? You repost this particular picture. For those of you who are not seeing it, but listening to our show on the web form, you can reshare our photo that we have on Instagram, the giveaway photo, and you should repost the picture and in the description box, share with us your favorite African tale, and then you tag at Africa on Focus. And when you do that, by next week, we will announce the winner. So again, repost this particular picture. It is on our Instagram feed, and it's a picture. It's the giveaway one where it says "Win Bala and the Secret of the Source" in Dutch or English. So repost the picture on your feed or your stories and tag us. Don't forget to tag us, because or else we won't see it. Tag at Africa on Focus. In the description, do share with us your favorite African tale, and we will announce the winner. And of course, we will post it to you if you are based in the Netherlands, so that you can also, have some of this free book and have to share something with your children about African history. So we've prolonged it up until next week, which is on top of my head, the 22nd of March. So do interact with us on that so that you can get to win something. It is super cool to have that book. It is huge and heavy, and you get to put that in your closet or whatever that you are. So make sure that you don't miss that one. Anyway, back to Africa on Focus. Shout out to everyone listening. Mensa Gary, again, shout out to you. Candy Sylvia, shout out to you for tuning in. If you just stumbled upon this show on your Facebook, do feel free to share, to repost. If you found us on YouTube on the Africa on Focus channel, don't forget to press like or subscribe to this channel so that you can stay informed and updated on our show and anything that is happening. Next on the Newsflash, man, one thing that you shared is what something with Uganda and Akon's wife. What is happening about that? Could you share something about that? What's going on?
Yeah. So, of course, I think if you're African by now, you should know Akon. And if you know Akon, not from only from his music, but you also know that Akon is a big time business man, now, an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and so much more that his whole family or his wife, they are the power couple. Let me put it in
Mm,
that way. So,
right.
um, Akon is originally from Senegal, and
Yeah.
I think the wife is um also is from east of Africa, but she looks Ethiopian-ish, but yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Something like
definitely
that.
African, right?
But this is one of his
But
wives because
then
he has wives. Wives.
he has wives.
Yeah. Yes,
Well,
he does.
so well he does.
Yeah. Yeah. I kid you not.
Oh, snap. Well done.
He's a Muslim, you know. And he's the kind of Muslim that is like, okay, if you can afford to have more wives, then you just go for it, and he can afford it, obviously.
Which he can definitely. Um, so with his with his wife or his wife, basically, they've been looking for ways to like cross or to invest in other African countries and other businesses and other
Right.
industries within the African continent. Them
Yeah.
based in the West, they're always looking for opportunities, either South, West, North, and East Africa,
Yeah.
to connect or to invest in. And so the wife has called a company called Zana Entertainment. And from the with this Zana Entertainment, they've decided to invest in Uganda's entertainment industry, a platform called Scoop. They're about to invest, she's going to invest $12 million, which
Right.
is 444 billion Ugandan currency. So I
Right.
reckon that's a lot of money. And they're pretty much doing this to bridge the gap between Eastern Africa, in
Right.
terms of business and trade, as well as they see a future in the Ugandan industry, media industry. And
Yeah.
if they get in early now, why not now and then, and then grow with it? Because I know they know that what the only thing they lack in is finances, probably. And
Yeah.
if you have Africans with money who can finance their own growth, then why not? So, from my perspective, this is a huge chance. This is big for
Yeah.
Uganda. I know they're going to make good use of it. And
Right.
yeah, I'm keen to see where this goes, because I was just imagining with this amount of money just pumped into the industry, right?
Yeah.
How many good quality movies will come out of it? And if, for instance, imagine just Hollywood making
Yeah.
movies um like I don't know, just even from, let's say, Black America, from Think Like a Man to now we have this fully black movie, um Coming to Africa Part 2. That's
Coming to America.
just black coming to America, to Africa, where
Yeah.
we could do Coming to Africa with that kind of money. But
Yeah.
like you can have, if you can imagine doing big names movies within your industry, within your country. Imagine if Africa, or if Ghana, if Uganda would have like a Marvel series, will have
Right.
a Coming to Africa, Coming to Uganda series, will have
Yeah.
this whole for themselves. That will be big. That will be
Yeah.
huge. That will be amazing. It's something you can like, or you can also share with the world, because not only are we watching American movies from Africa, and
Right.
look at Bollywood, for instance, look at India, the amount of movies that come out of there and get shown in the Ghanaian cinemas. But I
Yeah.
know it's not the other way around. Our movies not going there. And
Yeah.
and I think it was last year that Netflix signed a deal with either South Africa or Zambia. They had a series, and that one got premiered and also showed on Netflix, or Nigeria. So Netflix is also working with certain countries and certain industries to have
Right.
series and shows on there. But with this, with what Akon's wife is, or what their business is doing, is also giving back, or supporting their locals with their
Right.
own money, and actually creating their own empire. So instead of having a Netflix come through to support, they are doing it for themselves. So which is also very big. I'm
Right.
I'm very excited. As soon as they opened an African, I don't know, Netflix or an African something like that, I'm
Right.
subscribing and I'll pay for that. I don't have a Netflix account, but if they Yeah.
Yeah,
No, for real.
yeah.
In Ghana,
I think
there's
they
this
do.
Kuma Wood. Kuma Wood is having, there's this whole new generation of just young actors and comedians.
Right.
There, and they also have series. And I've been watching their series from home, free on YouTube. And I was thinking, if I could,
Yeah.
if I had to pay for these series, would I still watch it? And honestly, the way they're doing it, low budget, I think actually no budget,
Yeah.
and but they making it so good. The storyline is there. Imagine just giving them the right equipment and the right amount of money.
Yeah.
That it
Yeah.
will be very entertaining to watch. You were
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, there are a couple of platforms there. I know of one that is even founded by one Ghanaian. I think it's called Wix. I don't know. I'll get to the name or something like that. And it is that what you were saying, like an African type of Netflix.
Netflix.
The problem always arises is the promotion and distribution. Like, how are you going to
Okay.
ensure people get their cut, and how are you going to ensure that people understand that they need that over
Mm,
the content that they find on YouTube, right?
yeah.
Iroko TV is also one that introduced such a Netflix model, as I would say it. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, the Nigerians, they like to highlight their own. You know what I mean? So it's more or less. I have seen that their creation is more focused on Nollywood since it is as huge as it is. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
it's the second largest or the third largest. I don't know if Bollywood tops Nollywood or the other way around in
No,
terms
but
of
definitely definitely.
their, you know, them being able to produce movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know it's there. People have tried it. I from this story, I would really like to hear Akon's interview, maybe to find out on what the opportunity behind it is. Because truth is, Nollywood is as big as it is. South
Mm-hmm.
African movie industry is also, they don't produce in high. The frequency of production is not as high as Nollywood, because Nollywood, man, and they Nollywood is as big as it is because they produce the $1,000 budget films and also the larger budget films. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I would like to know the opportunity behind it as to why they've chosen for Uganda specifically, because South African one is like, their production is just really good. Like, even if you look at
Mm-hmm.
their series that come on Netflix, you can just see, okay, you know, the set is there, the particular cameras that they use. And I know a lot of personalities from their movie industry, and they're really highly acclaimed. They're easy, you know, they're even crossing over to Hollywood. So that one is really top notch. So I would
Right.
really like to know what is it about, you know, the Ugandan.
Uganda.
I don't know where she's from, movie industry
Mm-hmm.
that make her to say, you know what, I want to invest in that. Is it maybe because she wants East African, you know, to be represented well, or I would really like to see more of that. You know, what really the thought behind it is, and how it's going to be different from Bollywood and Nollywood and what else is there?
Yeah, I understand.
I really,
Perhaps she sees that it's an emerging, country when
right.
in it's emerging in the within the industry of
Yeah,
let's say within the movie industry, because yes, like you said, we know South Africa is big and there
yeah,
are actors crossing over into Hollywood. We know that Nollywood is also big, but
yeah.
maybe they've seen that, hey, Uganda is the next place
They might.
where movie is coming.
Yeah,
So yeah.
or it has a good potential for movie. Well, let's keep an eye on that. How the Ugandan movie industry is going to work. I kind of laughed at the bit of the article where she was like, "Oh yeah, she met the president, Museveni, and yeah, he's really knowledgeable and stuff like that." It kind of, you know, reminded me of the recent conflict, you know, that arose in Uganda, while young people don't are not too excited about him at all, you know.
No.
So that is
Oh,
really interesting in terms of where does that come from? Is it because of business that you're that positive, or you know? But anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Ghanaian, or let's say Ugandan, movie industry. It has, I think, it has a lot of potential. It's English speaking. It doesn't have too many
Yes.
barriers to work with, and if she will focus on the English speaking and a bit of their languages, I think it would be like easy to cross over to other to the consumer outside of the world. Let me
Yeah.
just put it that way.
de-
Interesting note.
Definitely.
Yes. What
Definitely.
else is
Definitely.
going on in the world of Africa? I mean, so much has been going on.
Yeah. Well, you said you would suspect that Nollywood is is the biggest or one of the biggest industries, movie industries in Africa. But they're not
Yeah,
only big in the movie industry, but when it comes to music, Nigeria is also
yeah. Nigeria
on top,
actually in the
top, top,
world,
top,
I
top.
think in terms of production, they rank second or something like that, and then Bollywood being first or something. The last time I
Yeah,
checked, basically.
that
But
doesn't that doesn't surprise me.
yeah, Nigeria
Um,
is so hard. Like we all know that. Every African knows Nigerian. We know of ourselves, the
yeah,
Nigerians.
Nigerians are different.
The
Different.
Nigerians go hard.
Their hustle is hustle, hustle, hustle,
Yeah,
and they won't
yeah.
stop till they get on
No,
top, top. Yeah, yeah. Oh my
no.
goodness.
Everybody knows. Every African knows. Like it's. We know, man. They are not as a small thing at all. But big ups to that.
Oh.
And yeah, Nollywood. I mean, I have. Speaking of movies, I did. That movie industry is still strong. They have, I think, a better stream of investment for their movies. I do know that it is quite different, or it's becoming more of less of a closed Nigerian only type of industry because it was not too long ago whereby the Ghanaian
Mm.
um, actors or the well-known ones went on the McBrown show on it's a UTV to talk about their
Mhm.
journey and how the industry was versus how it is now,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was from the likes of Majid, Nadia Buhari, Jackie Apia, Van Vicker, did I say Majid
Oh man.
Michael already? And it was another, oh yeah, and Yvonne Nelson. So really, like the
Mm.
yeah, they were all sitting
At
on
some
a couch.
point, they were, yeah,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah, they were
they
sitting
were
on a
the
couch.
face. Ooh.
Exactly. And
Uh-huh.
and I think in terms of their audience and their reach, I think they have done really well. I don't think others have done it so far as they have in terms of Ghana movie. And they were talking about their journey and said, "Oh man, before, when they were at their peak of like their fame and things, they were like, oh, before it was as crazy as if we would travel to Naija to record one movie, you could be on set and there and some film director will be booking you for another or another or another. You know what I mean? Like it would be that
Wow.
hectic and crazy as you would be there. To be like, oh Majid, you are here. Okay, then acting this one, acting that one. It was so like it was good
Wow.
business for them, and they
Mhm.
did confess or they did say that in terms of the flow of budget, the flow of getting paid in Ghana has just gone down, like immensely gone
Mhm.
down. So that was kind of yeah, I don't know. I think that in that sense I feel that it's yeah, I kind of feel bad because that is something that
Yeah.
really not brought out their faces, but also
Mhm.
really it added flavor to what Ghana is, them having their type of audience. I mean, it's not just Africans who follow them; it's Afro Caribbean. It's like people know them. Jackie Apia. I mean, I remember years ago when me and my friends we went to Atlanta, and we had this
Mhm.
Eritrean taxi driver. He said, "Oh yeah, where you ladies from?" Blah blah blah. I said, "Yeah, we're from originally from Ghana." Blah blah. He said,
Yeah.
"Oh man, Jackie Apia. I really love me some Jackie Apia."
Wow.
So you get what I mean? Like it just
Yeah.
crosses. It's beyond what we know, and for them having quite of a tough time now, actually specifically for movies, yeah, I do feel. I do feel a bit for them because the Ghana movie production has dropped basically. So yeah,
No,
but
no,
that was
no.
just by the way. That was
Just
just by the way.
yeah.
You need to check out that interview. It was fun. It was fun to
Mhm.
watch. But next thing on the list is actually Naomi Campbell. What did she do? My gosh, what was that?
She is promoting Kenya using Nigerian music.
Ooh.
Naomi
Okay, so
Campbell.
people were enraged, right? So anger as Naomi Campbell promotes Kenya using
Mhm.
Nigerian music. Okay, so what's been going on? I have seen, I mean, Naomi Campbell, I think she travels often to Ghana, Rwanda, Kenya, and things.
Yeah,
She has made it her mission to, do
definitely.
something for
That's
Africa,
right.
our African countries.
Mhm.
Her being a black woman, I think she is directly Jamaican, British, but obviously, I regard her as an African because she's black, you know. Um, well, the tourism industry is dwindling and being one of the hardest affected by the coronavirus pandemic, and many countries are looking for creative means to bolster tourism. And Kenya's move to revive their tourism industry was by appointing Naomi Campbell as the Magical Kenya International Brand Ambassador. Has come under fire yet again. So I wonder what the first time was. And it is for her poor choice in music during a promotional video. So, in the 2 minute 45 minutes clip titled Naomi Experiences Kenya, shared on the Instagram TV, the British
Uh-huh.
supermodel, you're already laughing. The British supermodel wrote impeccable things about Kenya, but with the popular Nigerian Afrobeat track In My Maserati by Olakira as the soundtrack to the video, and many Kenyans are peeved. The British supermodel wrote impeccable things about Kenya, but with the popular Nigerian Afrobeat track In My Maserati by Olakira as the soundtrack to the video, and many Kenyans are peeved. The British supermodel wrote impeccable things about Kenya, but with the popular Nigerian Afrobeat track In My Maserati by Olakira as the soundtrack to the video, and many Kenyans are peeved.
Let me do it like this. So basically, what had happened, let me switch.
All right. So my was it my thing gave up on me. So what had happened was with back to Naomi Campbell because my thing gave up on me. I was like, no, did my screen freeze? But anyway, back to Naomi Campbell. So, oh yeah, so I was saying in the 2 minute 45 minutes clip titled Naomi Experiences Kenya, shared on an Instagram TV, the British supermodel wrote impeccable things about Kenya, but with the popular Nigerian Afrobeat track In My Maserati by Ola Kira as the soundtrack to the video, and many Kenyans are peeved. The veteran supermodel wrote, I feel so privileged and honored to be confirmed as Magical Kenya International Brand Ambassador, not just because of the obvious benefits that tourism brings to an economy, but also I'm proud to be able to represent such an important country as Kenya. And we all know about the astounding areas of natural beauty, the beaches, and of course, the wildlife. What do you think?
It's what if you want to call it a blunder, what is it? But so they just like Kenyans are mad that a promotional video was made to promote Kenya,
Yeah,
but a Nigerian music was used
yeah,
in the background or underneath. Yeah, I mean, can
that
you
is
really
wrong.
get? Can you get? Yeah, you think it's wrong?
Yeah, I
How
do think
wrong
it's
is that?
wrong. I do think it's wrong. It's
Mm,
really wrong because I haven't seen the video yet. I really need to look at it, but it is
mhm,
yeah, it either shows ignorance as in like I just see the most popular African music as, generalizing it as in like, appropriate for every country. But definitely, if you are touching on Kenya, you should really, really touch on a Swahili song or something. I mean, there are like good Kenyan songs or artists like Salty
definitely.
Soul. Even people said it, like Live and Die in Africa, which is a Salty Soul. even featuring Jemiel Day collaboration. I mean, but using a Nigerian song is no, it's wrong.
Mhm.
I really feel, especially because her being an ambassador as she is, she's probably funded by, you know, the Ministry of Tourism. You know,
Mhm.
this should have been, yeah, they should have considered Kenyans a bit more, I feel, if you ask me. I
Yeah,
think
but like she's not an expert on music. I I I suspect that she didn't even know that that music was a Nigerian song. She liked it a lot, and she was like,
she
"Okay, I want to
died.
use this.
Come
I
on,
want to use this
hangs
track."
out with this kid and all of these people. You know, she
Mm,
probably come to the African continent more than we have. You know, you know what I mean?
oh,
Having having traveled to several African countries, I think it's
yes,
bad. I think it's bad. But knowing African people, they will forgive her.
of course, they will forgive her.
Yeah.
Um, but if it makes the my point is if it makes the video more fun to watch, or if it's doing its
No,
promotional purpose, then it's
no,
fine. Whether it's Ghanaian music or Nigerian music.
no. It's bad. It's bad. If
No,
you
is it?
are,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad because you know, making videos for tourism, it has to make sense. You know, we wouldn't make a video about, let's say, Dutch tulips, you know, with some what's it called, Sarkodie on the background, unless it
Zako
relates
music.
to us, you know, unless it relates to us being Ghanaian in, let me just
And
say, yeah.
but what if the Netherlands will do that themselves? So they'll pick a song by Kofi Kenyatta or um,
Oh, Ghanaians
this
would
other,
rejoice. They'd be like,
and then
hey,
and they're
yeah,
promoting like Dutch cheese or Dutch tulips with that kind of music just to show how exotic the flowers or the Dutch can
no.
and the Netherlands can be.
They wouldn't do
Then
that. They wouldn't do that.
what if they would? Should Dutch people get mad because they're using um a sunny song or a
Yeah,
colorful
they should get
song
that.
to
Because
promote
if it
the
doesn't make
business?
sense, if it doesn't make sense to, you know, the story, it's really bad. Yeah, Naomi Diawanya, she no, she didn't.
Oh, Naomi,
She didn't.
wow.
And it's her
You're
channel. It's her channel, and she knows Kenya. She traveled to. I've never even been to Kenya before, you know, but she knows Kenya, and I think I think it's also like disappointing for them because a lot of um, I know for Kenyans and the music industry is they feel a lot of times left out, you know, in the conversation surrounding African music. So
okay.
it goes deep. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. It goes deep.
yeah.
It's still, let's say that even for instance with the Beyonce album, right? Um,
Oh, yeah.
she had so many songs. The majority of the artists she worked with were Nigerians. I on top of my head. Of course, you know, also Ghanaians. Maybe one, I think one South African artist was used on one track, but as far as like
Zambia?
Swahili,
Zambia
Zambia,
also
I
not
think
with the she?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But none was Kenyan, none was from a Swahili speaking country, and they were like, "Listen, if you're going to connect it to Lion King, that actually has Swahili songs and stuff, to leave us out." I remember a post from Sauti Soul's uh, band members. I was like, yeah, I could definitely understand what they're saying, but Nigerians just know how to commercialize things. You know, they visible in terms of visibility, you will have a tough time to, you know, compete with
Beating.
them. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely true.
yeah,
Um, which is a good thing. We need front runners when it comes
Yeah,
to representing Africa, or when it comes to, those who will go out there and to catch the fishes or
true,
sell the business. Nigerians
true.
are, the Nollywood, their music is the face, is becoming more of the face of let's say African music,
I guess so.
right?
Yeah,
Which is
I guess.
good in a sense.
It's good in a sense, absolutely. But I would say, time for the others to really learn what it takes to also get to that height. So that South Africa is already very professionalized, and, in terms of global, their standard is on point, everything. But, I really feel that Naomi cannot make that mistake again. And it's time also for Kenyan music and artistry to really be highlighted in these times. If you ask me, definitely, I agree. I agree. All right. So in a bit, we are going to be talking about, through this pandemic. I think it's really important. Here in the Netherlands, the government is even funding particular projects, initiatives to focus on young people and their mental health. Um, Maybe it's because it is a concern. Maybe it's because some research has pointed out that, if we don't tackle this, people will probably go wild and go nuts and all of that. So before that happens, they just want to ensure that, people's minds are all right. People will also, have an idea of what to do creatively. So before the show ends, we're just going to talk about a couple of things that you could do to relax throughout this pandemic. But first, before we do that, let's have a listen to one song to get into a good vibe only. I think Miss V's Hallelujah is quite jolly for this setting. Let's go. And of course, in the meantime, if you're listening to Africa on Focus and you're enjoying it, you're catching up the vibe, you would like to interact with this conversation, do not forget to share this on your timeline so that we get to talking. Let's listen to some music and we'll be right back when this thing gets off of its freeze.
He picks me up and leads me on my way. So I sing hallelujah. Give glory, glory, go better. So I sing hallelujah. We give the glory, go better. I woke up today, beautiful morning. You two frown your face. I say, my brother, don't worry. If you wake up today, another day, another blessing. Make you know frown your face. I say, my sister, don't worry. So I sing hallelujah. Give glory, glory, go better. So I sing hallelujah. We give the glory, go better.
Obama home by on the juice. I thought for no wine. Oh, Yanko he blues. Oh, the menu kind. That be the truth. Is to come with them. I owe me by me home. I'm juice. Hey, butter my bread. Sugar my cocoa. Hey, have me life. Hey, have me noko. Today I be star. I'm a show me photo. Me team. I'm a life. Your movies. I'm a local. Me team. I'm only you. I go praise. Oh, give me life. Give me grace. Oh, give me energy. Oh, to me, mommy. Fem.
In every situation, be thankful for life, cause today our back, everywhere we go. In every situation, live it to God, cause he knows all your troubles, he's got you for life, So I sing hallelujah. Give glory, glory, go better. So I sing hallelujah. We give the glory, go better. So I sing hallelujah. go better. So I sing hallelujah. We give the glory, go better. So I sing butter my bread, sugar my cocoa, glory, glory, go better. So I sing butter my bread, sugar my cocoa, we give the glory, go better.
All right, and that was Miss V collaborating with Cole on their record called Hallelujah. This is the last bit of Africa on Focus, the last couple of minutes before we round up. As we have been talking about a few very, very important things. And one of the things that I think we should highlight probably for the rest of this year in the last couple of minutes, and that has to do with how are you going to keep your mental health during this pandemic. Wherever you're listening from, whether you're listening on Facebook, whether you're listening on YouTube, do give us a shout out and let us know where you are listening from. Africa on Focus streams every Sunday from 7 p.m. CET on High Radio, the voice of the next generation. And High Radio is, let's just say, Netherlands or Amsterdam's most dynamic satellite and digital radio station that promotes African culture to Africans in the diaspora. And African Focus is also made possible by Austin, which is a brand and communications company. You can contact by Austin if you need a company that's going to help you realize your brand and communication, both online and offline. Also made possible by Be Artist, which is a web hosting and graphic platform. So if you are looking for a website, full services, or just designed, Be Artist is a platform that you can find. Donny, it seems that, this mental health thing is being quite serious. I always feel like issues surrounding mental health are like invisible. They just happen after research takes place, or maybe if somebody close, but if you don't know it, you'll just overlook it.
Yes, definitely, definitely, and because we underestimate it, right?
Yeah.
Or we fail to see the urgency, or like we don't value it enough. So
Yeah.
so to even talk about it. So that's why it seems like that. But yeah, it's a critical thing. It's very important. It's as important as nutrition. So as much as the
Right.
time we want to spend on talking about diets and stuff, we should also be spending on talking about the mental health. Yep, definitely.
Right, right. Well, one of the things that lead up to, let's just say, an imbalance of mental health is emotional loneliness. Here in the Netherlands, there is a large increase in loneliness, but small decrease in mental health problems after the COVID-19 outbreak. It seems that emotional loneliness among Dutch adults, yeah, do we consider ourselves among that number? I don't know. They would say relatively Ghanaians cannot live a lonely life. It's like not possible. But I don't know how the research around that has been conducted. Well, compared to the loneliness in 2019, from 18 to 25%, it has increased. Among adults who were lonely after the COVID-19 outbreak, but not lonely before the outbreak, the prevalence of mild to severe anxiety and depression symptoms also increased from 18 to 26%. Here in the Netherlands, it just seems that the majority of adults were not lonely before and after the COVID-19 outbreak. And among this group, the prevalence of symptoms decreased significantly. In the summer of 2020, Dutch adults less often suffered from mild to severe anxiety and depression symptoms, 15% compared to months before the COVID-19 outbreak. and during the outbreak in March 2020. So the findings come from a just published study by Center Data, Tilburg University, the Netherlands, and Fonds Slachtofferhulp, Maynooth University, and the University of Bonn in Germany. Well, with that said, I once I read this kind of numbers, I'm kind of like, okay, well, they probably didn't consider us. You know what I mean? I don't know if we were considered. But I do see it as alarming numbers because if it is on the rise, anybody could, be affected by
Yeah.
it. Either that be anxiety due to job loss, or you having to reposition for job, not knowing where to go, or just being lonely because you simply can't go anywhere. And
Yeah.
yeah, basically that's really the life as it is now. um I don't know, for us Ghanaians, I would say, we are really community focused. We're like, yeah, we like can't survive without each other. However, it is quite lonely because almost nobody can come to your house.
Right, and you also have Ghanaians who are um, very much into the Dutch culture. So they adapted the Dutch lifestyle, which is less social than the traditional Ghanaian culture or the traditional African culture, where even in your apartment, it's not only you, your
Right.
uncle might be living with you, or
Yeah.
all of that, or you have the Sunday service that you go on a regular.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Dutch people don't go to church that often. Once
Yeah.
in a while they would go. So you do have Ghanaians who also have this lifestyle where they don't attend social activities as much or as often as traditional Ghanaians do, like with
Yeah.
weddings and stuff. You find most of Ghanaians, because we know each other,
Yeah.
in every weekend or every once in the two
I still see
weekends
them
there is
wedding.
an event, right? You still see you see people, but then there are also Ghanaians who you rarely see them at any events, but they're
Yeah.
still Ghanaians though. They'll still go to Ghana, but it's just their lifestyle is very different. So
Right.
the case of loneliness will probably hit them sooner than it will hit the other Ghanaians who still have the
The
African
typical.
lifestyle. So yeah, the typical Ghanaian. But
Yeah.
from the results, you can definitely tell that okay, the numbers have gone up, and that's due to
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
From research. So then
Yeah.
the following up question will be, all right, what are the solutions
Yeah.
that came
What
with
can we
this,
do?
let's say, research? What can we do about our loneliness and our mental health in these these time, because
Yeah.
definitely it's going to take us another 6 months. Most of us are already used to this lifestyle, but it's still suffering. Some of us are still
Yeah.
suffering, and we still need a way out.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think we go good a bit through talks, and also watch some reports, watch some interviews,
Yeah.
and there's so many stuff you can find on how
Yeah.
to cope with loneliness.
Yeah.
But I think I found something that could provide, let's say, comfort,
Yeah.
which was interesting. It's easy. It's stuff you can do from your living room, from home.
Yeah.
And one of the things is you have to be able to give yourself a foot massage or use a foot spa. We know in the
Yeah.
Netherlands, um, it's since last week that barbershops, or these contact um,
Yeah.
um,
Services.
services, or
Yeah.
yeah, were adjourned. But before that, they were all closed, so you couldn't even go to to
Yeah.
a barber or to a hairdresser, do your nails and stuff. But apparently, foot massage is very comforting, and it's very relaxing. If your spouse can give you a foot massage, your boyfriend or who else, your fiance, your husband, your partner, maybe
It
your roommate can give can give you a foot massage. That
Women
will help.
don't do that.
I hope you're not ticklish, but no, black people, we don't give a foot massage, do we?
Women don't do
Uh,
that.
but try it to, yeah, it'll help. From research, it will help your loneliness, or it will make you feel more comfortable
Right.
at home. Another thing is you can also take a bath. I know that some women, they just love to take a bath. Like they have this day where make a bath and then put one of those bath bombs, what do they call it?
Yeah, yeah.
The that
And some
soap, and then
really use the rituals package they gave you at work. You know, some be stacking them and never
shampoo.
them in years.
Yes, use it. Like these are the times you can use all of that.
Exactly.
Um, yep. Help self-care, part of self-care. So everything
Man,
that comes
yes,
with it, like taking a full body shower, doing your hair, doing your nails, these are
yeah,
comforting things to do
yeah. Every Saturday,
um
yes.
every Saturday. And even more often now because of Corona. So pick a day, even it's Tuesday, Wednesday,
An
or
extra one.
Saturday, like those 2 days. Yeah,
Got
just
it.
laying your bath and relax. If you have any pets, and I know black people's organics, we don't mess with pets that
No, not
much,
not really.
but
Not really.
not really, not
No,
really,
not
not
really,
really.
man. I still don't see it. I do see the okay, we'll touch on like two more points, but I do see like the
Yeah.
diaspora in US. Like I do have some cousins that taking a dog and stuff, you know, but then it's like, listen, you better take care of it yourself because auntie's not gonna do it. But
Yeah,
here
yeah.
I oh, only one. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Samarity. Samarity is a Ghanaian photographer, and he's also in the high radio building. His business. He has a small dog. Yeah,
Yes, it's more than, yeah, cool. So focus on your pet, pet your pet. That also is
right,
relaxing.
right.
I know we like to cook food, so cook
Yeah,
healthy, comfortable food, or food that will make you feel at rest. Sometimes you can even compare that to cravings, right? But then
yeah,
sometimes you just crave a certain particular African dish.
yeah.
Make it, because you're going to feel so much better. It will kill
Right.
your loneliness. It might give you like, this nostalgia that you want to be back home in Africa, but
Yeah,
it will give you at least a sense of
yeah.
fulfillment, or something that finally get to taste. And the last one was yeah, I would say one thing that is also not common, but I think will help is also to light scented candles.
I've
I
tried that
think
one this week. I have started. I'm hooked. I'm hooked. Seriously. I
see, yep.
I started with vanilla scented. Vanilla
Hmm.
scent because at some point I was just too not to say stressed out, but I really needed something to like relax, you know. So I tried it and I've added like the large one. I just tried for just a simple one and I'm hooked. Like,
Nice.
oh man. Yes, I say yes to that. I say yes. Do you do that?
I regularly, like once in a while, I just light a candle, and
Oh no.
I'll probably just leave it on till, yeah, I sleep with it. Like, but once in a while, I do it. Also sense it. Yeah, I do it.
Yeah.
Is there any other tip or something you could see from that list? You like, yes, that is
Yeah,
also
yeah. The one that
one
really
thing.
helped for me was the particular tea. I'm really like on fresh mint tea. I get the leaves at the Turkish store. You know, it's just
Mm,
75 cents. You know, you sip on that, like seriously, it makes you feel calm, you know, relaxed together with you know, the candles and all of that.
candles, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's really a good one. And you know, going a bit more organic, I've even started to sip on what's it called, the juice of Precasa. You know Precasa? You know that one,
Pre-
right?
Yeah, I've
Precasa.
heard some. Yeah, and I think I see it too. Yes, it's
You see,
black, right?
yeah,
Is it
like
black?
dried,
Right. Yeah,
dried.
yeah.
Yeah,
They use it for
definitely.
cooking
Yeah, they use it for
and
cooking, but
food
you
and
can
stuff.
also like cook it so that you extract the water and that
Mm,
you make like a sort of tea from that. It's good for your blood
mm-hmm.
flow and all of that. Mix it with slightly lime, ginger. I'm really
Ginger.
into that. So I'm starting like this more of a healthy intake. So yeah. But
Really?
but I'll but
Yeah,
I'll follow up with you on next week what new thing I've tried.
amazing. Cool. Nice.
I love that. I
Great.
love that. Well, we're almost rounding up Africa on Focus, of course, on this 14th of March. We're almost half through the month, man. And I need to file in these taxes because I don't want no trouble with these
Oh.
tax people because they're crooks. They are the Mafia 2.0.
Right. Next week,
Yeah.
election day here in the Netherlands.
Yeah. Are you voting?
I am voting. I did some research on that for another
Okay.
podcast. So I am going to vote.
Okay. What does that
Are
mean?
you voting?
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay. So then
Absolutely.
next
We should
Sunday
talk
we'll
about what we
probably
voted for,
we
right?
should talk about that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I agree. I agree. Maybe. All right, all right. Well, we're rounding up Africa on Focus that comes to you on High Radio, the voice of the next generation, every
Generation.
Sunday at PNCET. We're logging off. In case you missed an episode and you would really like to listen, you can also catch Africa on Focus, the podcast, on all your streaming platforms. There you can listen to some of the best conversations that we've had with the likes of Leroy Nimo, Lenta Amwateng, Dr. Sabine, who else? So many people that have a really, really challenged us in the way that we think. If you type in the African Focus, you'll find us on there. Of course, you can follow Africa on Focus on all social media platforms with that same name on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Subscribe to my channel so that you can be the first to find out what else is going on. Myself and Donny come to you every Sunday. And next week, we are going to talk about the Ghanaian community and COVID. This vaccine, should we look out for it or not? And we have a special doctor, actually Ghanaian doctor, who'll be here with us on the show to talk if we should trust it or not. Look out for that. And don't forget to share the show on your timelines. And we will be
Yes,
meeting
sir.
up next week. Donny is still hidden from social media, so don't mind him.
We're
He is.
working on it.
We're rounding up with some Frida Rhymes collaborating with Calvin Boy with their record I Day Go. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will catch you next week. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Oh yeah, another Kelvin boy again.
It's Black Avenue.
Go.
So okay day now. Well, show me boss me, then you go far. I used to cry, you gave me a shoulder to lean on. After day is over, and I do what to me from me, say you did for me. Trust it, what they happened to me be fantasy. The girls they call, the girls they test, but me and the boy I test the laugh. But
I know say I be playboy, but I feel wrong come anywhere you there. I know say I be bad boy, but I go wrong come anywhere you there. Enemies go they do tire, but I go wrong come anywhere you there. Me and you not go retire. Girl, I go wrong come anywhere you there. Oh.
I dey go, make you no blame me, cause me I dey go. I dey go, you for know, if I go, bet for me on the low. I dey go, make you no blame me, cause me I dey go. I dey go, you for know, if I go, bet me on the low. What's the name of test, me and ra, me call, what's the open me a johnny bra. What's the one need me? Who are you for proof to me? Look sharp before somebody go move to me. Family, I will angel, take me everywhere you go. Young Kwaji and New Town, take me everywhere you know. Friends say you be playboy, but I never mind. I said that they make noise.
I know say I be playboy, but I feel wrong come anywhere you there. I know say I be bad boy, but I go wrong come anywhere you there. Enemies go they do tire, but I go wrong come anywhere you there. Me and you no go retire. Girl, I go wrong come anywhere you there. Oh.
Take your money, I know they lie. I feel many stuff, maybe I might lose focus, but I go make it slide. Money, I want you in the kai. Take your money, I know they lie. I feel many stuff, maybe I might lose focus, but I go make it slide. Money, I want you in the kai. All the things that they tell you, so many things that they tell you, you know they listen, no. You know they listen, no. No more shake your body. I will like Papa no go coco body. Me I tell you take your money. Me I tell you take your money. Yeah, yeah. No more shake your body. I will like Papa no go coco body. Me I tell you take your money. Me I tell you take your money. Yeah, yeah.
I know say I be playboy, but I feel wrong come anywhere you there. I know say I be bad boy, but I go wrong come anywhere you there. Enemies go they do tire, but I go wrong come anywhere you there. Me and you no go retire. Girl, I go wrong come anywhere you there. Oh.
I dey go, make you no pay me, cause me I dey go. If I know, if I go over for me on the low. I dey go, make you no pay me, cause me I dey go. If I know, if I go over for me on the low.